Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So rhubarb is in season, and if you're not familiar with rhubarb, it is actually a vegetable, but it's used most often like a fruit, especially with strawberries, because it has a delicious tart, slightly fruity taste that is perfect for a crumble or a crisp. First thing you want to do is cut your rhubarb into about 1-inch chunks. It is very fibrous, this stalk. Don't be concerned if you've never baked with it before. It will cook down and become really soft and tart and sweet all at the same time. So I have 4 cups of rhubarb here. I'm gonna add it to a large bowl, and then we're also gonna add 4 cups of strawberries that I've cut just into half. You don't wanna cut the strawberries too small because they do emit a lot of juice, and the smaller they are, the juicier they sort of get as they roast. So just cut them in half, that's perfectly fine. To that, we're gonna add 3/4 cup of sugar. That's gonna sweeten up that rhubarb as well as our strawberries that aren't quite at their peak. 1/4 cup of cornstarch. I really like the cornstarch over flour because I find it creates a more syrupy filling. Now you might be thinking, what's the difference between a crisp and a crumble? Because a lot of us use these terms interchangeably. So a crisp will have oatmeal in it. That's what gives it the nice crunch. That's what we're making today. Where a crumble will typically just have butter, flour, and sugar. So that's the small distinction. I really prefer the crisps because I love the crunch, especially with that syrupy, soft fruit filling underneath. In order to get the cornstarch to activate and also kind of front load the juiciness of the fruit, we're also gonna add 1/4 cup of water. Then really the best way to mix this up is with your hands. So just make sure they're clean. Go in, give it a toss. That is really the best way to make sure that all of that sugar and cornstarch and water is all incorporated. I really love this dessert for entertaining because you can prep the whole thing ahead of time and then pop it in your fridge. Then when you sit down to dinner, you're gonna pop it in the oven and it's going to bake while everybody is enjoying their dinner. It only takes 30 minutes, so if dinner goes longer than that, you can just pop up and turn the oven down to about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. But if you do it this way, then when you bring it to the table, it's all bubbly and syrupy. Serve it with a big scoop of ice cream, and it is totally fabulous. Then you want to place this in a baking dish that's oven safe. This one is about 14 by 8.5, so somewhere in that dimension. I prefer something shallow and long like this because that way everybody gets a little bit of the delicious crisp topping. If you do something that's square and too deep, you won't end up with a lot of crisp topping. It'll all be sort of concentrated. So see if you can find something long and shallow like this. And then go ahead and spread it out to a single layer. And then you might also want to make sure that the juice is well distributed. So just kind of give it a tilt, give it a shake, and you're good to go. And then one other thing you want to do at this stage is add 2 tablespoons of butter, just distributed as little pieces in and among the fruit. This is going to help create that really delicious syrupy consistency when it combines with the sugar and the cornstarch. It really does make the difference. So I don't skimp this part. Now for the crisp topping, you're going to add 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons of white sugar, and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. I love adding cinnamon to crisp topping. I just think it is a natural complement with the oatmeal. So yummy. And 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Now, the baking powder is something that's sometimes overlooked with crumbles and crisp toppings. I love to add it because it beefs up the crumb topping or the crisp and just makes it a little bit more lighter and not so heavy and dense. 1 teaspoon is all you need. Then you just want to whisk that up until everything is combined. Then I have 2/3 cup of melted unsalted butter in this little pitcher. I'm gonna add my vanilla extract to the butter just so that the flavor becomes a bit more evenly distributed as opposed to just dumping it in the flour mixture. I'm gonna use a full tablespoon, not a typo, it's not a teaspoon, it's a full tablespoon because you end up getting a lot more flavor to the crisp topping. Otherwise it can end up being a little bit flat, so the vanilla I think really helps with that. Whisk that all together and then we are going to add it to our flour mixture and give it a stir. I think the best thing to do is to use a fork because that will help it kind of turn into like a crumbly mixture. It should resemble wet sand. And then at this point, we're going to add 1 cup of oats. So I like to use old-fashioned oats, not the quick cooking oats, because it won't really stand up to the weight of a crisp. They'll kind of disintegrate on you. So don't use those. Use the old-fashioned. So in they go. And then 1/3 cup of chopped pecans. You could also really use any nut. You could use walnuts, you could use pistachios would be really good. Then take your crisp topping and distribute it evenly all over your fruit base. Now, I don't like to go all the way to the edge with the crisp topping. I like to leave a little bit of fruit peeking through because that's the area that's gonna start to kind of like bubble up with the syrupy juices. And it looks really pretty once it's all baked and done. So here's the part that you'll stop the day before your party and just cover it with foil And then when you sit down to dinner, you're gonna pop it in a 375-degree Fahrenheit oven for just about 30 to 35 minutes. You'll know when it's done when the crisp topping is nice and golden brown and those juices start bubbling. Should we dig into it? It looks so good. This is my most favorite springtime dessert. I am so excited to dig into this. Here we go. You have to make sure you get a little bit of each part, the fruit, the crisp, and the ice cream in one bite. This is so good. The tartness of the rhubarb with the sweetness of the ice cream and the crunch of the crisp, I'm telling you, this is gonna be your new go-to springtime dessert. And if you would like to be the first to receive all of my recipes in your inbox, you can subscribe to my Substack. The link is below. All right, you guys, I'll see you back here next time. Until then, bye.